On the edge of willow woods, nestled between tall grass and wildflowers, lived Benny, a bunny with a heart as big as his floppy ears. Known for his cheerful hop and ever-helpful nature, Benny was a friend to all the forest creatures. But despite his kindness, Benny had never truly been tested, until the day of the Great Garden Rescue. One bright morning, Benny was out nibbling on clover near Mrs. Hedgehog's vegetable garden when he noticed something alarming. All of the carrots, lettuce, and cabbages in the garden were vanishing. Patches of leafy greens had been dug up, and long rows of carrots had disappeared without a trace. Mrs. Hedgehog was beside herself with worry. These vegetables were her winter supply, and without them, she wouldn't have enough food for the chilly months ahead. "Who could have done this?" asked Benny, his little nose twitching in curiosity. "I don't know," Mrs. Hedgehog sighed, "but it's all going so fast. I just don't know what to do." Benny's ears perked up. "Don't worry, Mrs. Hedgehog. I'll help you solve this mystery and get back your vegetables," he declared, determined. With a quick thump of his fluffy tail, Benny set off into the forest, eager to uncover the mystery of the missing garden produce. As he wandered through the woods, Benny decided to enlist the help of his friends. First, he visited Roxy the robin, whose keen eyesight was perfect for spotting things from above. "Roxy," Benny called up into the tree branches, "could you fly around and see if you spot any unusual trails or, perhaps, creatures carrying vegetables?" Roxy chirped in agreement and flew high above the forest, scanning for clues. Before long, she returned, fluttering excitedly. "I saw a trail of leaves heading towards the old hollow tree by Bluebell Pond." Benny thanked Roxy and hopped quickly toward Bluebell Pond. The old hollow tree was known to be the hideout of the Mischief Squirrels, squirrels who loved to collect things. But would they have taken all of Mrs. Hedgehog's vegetables? Benny approached the tree cautiously. Just then, he heard a hushed whisper. Peering inside, he spotted Hazel, one of the Mischief Squirrels, nibbling on a lettuce leaf. "Hazel?" Benny stammered, surprised. "Why are you munching on Mrs. Hedgehog's garden veggies?" Hazel's cheeks turned bright red. "Oh, Benny, we didn't mean to cause any harm. We've been gathering extra food for the winter." "But Hazel," Benny said gently, "taking from others isn't the way to prepare. Mrs. Hedgehog needs these veggies to survive the winter too." Hazel looked down, realizing her mistake. "You're right, Benny. We just got a bit carried away." With a soft sigh, Hazel gathered the other Mischief Squirrels, and together they decided to make things right. Benny, leading the way, guided them back to Mrs. Hedgehog's garden. They brought all the vegetables they had taken and carefully replanted them in neat rows. Mrs. Hedgehog was thrilled. "Thank you, Benny, and thank you, Mischief Squirrels," she said, her eyes twinkling. "This garden wouldn't be the same without your kindness." As the sun dipped below the trees, Benny's heart swelled with pride. The garden was restored, and a valuable lesson was learned. Sometimes bravery means standing up for what's right, even if it means helping friends realize their mistakes. From that day on, Benny was known not only as the bravest bunny but also as the wisest one in Willow Woods, always ready to lend a helping paw to his forest friends. And every evening, the animals would gather around Mrs. Hedgehog's garden, sharing stories and laughter, knowing that together, they could face any challenge that came their way.